Guys, welcome back to our weekly live event. Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly live event. Good to see everybody. And this week, we're going to be talking about how the Fed needs to print an additional $7 trillion to keep the U.S. economy from going into a depression. That is this week's topic. How's everybody's week been? What's up, guys? Good to see everybody again. What's up, Dr. G? Little Young. Good Health Coach. What's up? It's good to see everybody again. Hope everyone's week's been good. My week's been very good. My training's going good. Dr. G's helping me out stay fit with the cupping and adjustments. So everything's going good. I got my competition in about 5 weeks, so getting ready for that. What's up, guys? So this week, what we're going to be talking about is 7 trillion more. Yep, it's been a productive week. Next week is going to be even more productive week. We got a lot of good things going, and it's going to be exciting. Working on getting another deal, actually 2 deals, working on refinancing 2 of my current projects, and setting up a lot of meetings for the app that we're working on. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I got a lot of really good team players that I'm bringing onto the team to put out this app. So it's gonna be really exciting. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm actually really excited about this because there's a whole new style for me. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. What about you guys? What have you guys been up to? Hi, Mariana. All right, guys. So I'm going to start with this week's topic. In this week's topic, again, just so you guys understand, anyone who has to go live, I answer those questions first. Anyone who leaves a question in the questions section, I answer second, and the DMs are third. I also answer the questions on YouTube as well. And if you're looking for it to be the right side, meaning not reversed, on YouTube, you'll actually be able to see everything the right way. All right, so this week's topic is how basically PhD Robert Duncan, he actually predicted the 2008 crash of the market, the housing crash, and he actually predicted before everybody else. His most recent prediction is that the U.S. government will need to print at least another $7 trillion to keep us out of going into a Great Depression. This printing is because the money that we used to spend when people were working and going out and spending money and distributing the wealth in our economy, that currently is not going on because everyone's at home, they're not working, and they're not spending money. And the money they are spending is going to the large companies and not going to the small, medium-sized businesses, which is greatly affecting our economy negatively. Basically, the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. So we would need to spend an additional $7 trillion to help make up for the loss of spending in our economy. Some of his ideas were putting the money and actually sending it to people to spend and sending it to small businesses, removing some of the, getting people back to work. So by removing the extra bonus payout for unemployment and actually using some of that money to get people back to work. So we have to go back to spending money into normal society. right? The normal way, the normal way that we were living in our society. So since that's not happening, we need to spend another $7 trillion. He said something really interesting. He said, we're no longer a capitalistic economy, and we have not been a capitalistic economy for a long time. And he said that we are now in a creditistic economy. And when he said that, it made a lot of sense. He said, for every year that we don't have a 2% growth in credit, our economy goes into a recession that year. Makes a lot of sense because the money we have, the cash that we have, is not real money. It's basically loans the government gets and prints our currency. We have a fiat currency. It's a currency based off of credit, not gold. So every time we don't print, we have a problem in our economy because our economy is really based off of loans. Now, the big point is, if you think of it like this, there is good fat and bad fat. If you eat an avocado is almost all fat, but it is healthy fat. It is good for you. But then there's also bad fat, like our saturated fats, which actually hurt your body, not help your body. In the same sense, we do need debt because our currency is basically is debt itself. But we need currency and debt to be spent on things that actually build more wealth and help our economy become better, faster, and more efficient. That makes a lot of sense. So now, since we're not printing money and business isn't growing, it's actually shrinking, we're going to feel a lot of issues in our economy. We're going to feel a lot of people losing their jobs. We're going to see a lot of businesses shutting down, a lot of people losing their homes. This still ties into my thinking that May of 2021, we're going to have a significant drop in our real estate and stock market by that date. Could happen a little sooner. It could. But I think by that date, we should start seeing some significant downward movement. So get prepared for that. So feel free to ask any questions surrounding this topic. And also we'll go into the standard real estate topics, investing topics, and financial planning topics. So, all right, let me just see what questions you guys have for me. Stock market gained all of its losses. So you're just thinking about that, Shakri. Did every single company gain back all of its losses? No, they didn't. Remember, when you're looking at the Dow, and you're not looking at every company. And just because Amazon's doing well doesn't mean the economy is doing well. Let's not confuse. The stock market is price of an asset. It is not how the economy is doing. There is a disconnect from Main Street and Wall Street. My brother has a grocery store, and he's telling me people are coming in and saying they don't have money to buy groceries. That's real America. That is, Main Street. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, brother?
So what questions do you have for us today?
It's always good to talk to another capitalist.
That I am.
Good for you. We need more of these thoughts. We need more people just speaking the truth about the economy on social media.
Yes, it's as many things out online. The truth doesn't really come out, and normally it's not that glamorous, so people don't want to listen. But I do what I can.
Especially with the inflation that all this is going to cost, right? I own a construction company here in Ottawa, Canada, and we're signing contracts like crazy. But when I went to Home Depot, there was no lumber to buy.
It's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's about it, right? So just because you have contracts and you have dollars doesn't mean you can buy lumber.
We're going to see that. We're going to go into a period of time now that there's going to be some people that have money, right? There's going to be people that have a lot of money. There's people that are not going to have money. There's also going to be, even if you have money, there's not going to be enough supply to keep up with what the demand is. because the amount of our supply chain is so has been reduced so much that there's not going to be enough supply out there. So there is going to be some people that don't have money they're not buying as much, as the overall purchases are going to drop, yet the cost of goods are going to go up, which is opposite. It really doesn't even have anything to do with the actual inflation, because we won't feel the inflation effects for a number of years. But I agree with you. We're going to see that with a lot of products. Like I'm buying, 4 or 5 months worth of products that I'm using, just because I know we're going to have a supply chain issue coming very soon.
Where do you see the supply chain breaking down?
Everywhere. Like everywhere is like almost everywhere we're having a reduced number of people working. And I'm talking about like more of like physical items. I'm not talking about like service type industries. I'm talking about like physical items. There's less people going to work. There's people that have COVID. Now they're having to spend more time to keep everything clean, which are all good reasons. But when you have things that are slowing down, your process, you're going to have less coming over. Two, the cost
of production goes down too.
Cost of production goes up. The other part of it is this: we're having what is not very popular on media is that part of the whole thing Trump was saying about bringing stuff back to America, the production, bringing it back to America to produce, is because right now we're having a lot of issues where the Chinese aren't giving us what we're willing to pay for.
That's crazy.
They're hoarding the goods. And the argument that he maybe is not really being articulate in, but he's basically saying this is not fair. We've given you a ton of wealth over the last 40 years. Since 1980, we've shipped over, millions of jobs in the manufacturing field. And now it's time where we really need these products, and you're not giving it to us. So this is going to do, I think, something that's going to be net positive in the long run, which is bringing back goods and production to America. One, we need it. We need a manufacturing base, right? We need additional jobs. Two, it's going to help us in these times where, we're not able to get something in the country and we're not able to produce. Because I heard like some parts of like some of the medical products, some medical items that they need, they can't finish producing them because there's certain parts that are coming from China and they can't finish the machine, the breathing machine, because the part is in China. They're not bringing it over. So it's multiple problems by giving everyone full control of your manufacturing for a country. So I think it's going to be a great idea that people are going to start having jobs, more jobs in the country. And some people will say, well, Pascal, it costs more money in America than it does overseas. It does, but normally the product is better and it lasts longer. Part two, where we say we're doing things and we're manipulating things in our country and we're not being fair to someone else by like adding a tariff, we have to understand that the Chinese government is also manipulating their currency. They keep on reducing the value of the yuan, even though so let me step it back. When one country sells a lot of product to another country, America buys a lot, China sells a lot. What happens is, as they start selling more and more and more and the country grows, their dollar or their yen should be getting, it's a yuan. Their yuan should be getting stronger. That means right now it's for every $1, you get 7 yuan. Well, it should have gone to 6, 5, 4 because their yuan is getting stronger. Well, what happens is they print more money to make their yuan cheaper, and they keep on printing it. That's why that we haven't had a point where we should have gotten to a point now where $1 would give you 2 yuan, which now makes the Chinese product very expensive to us. And we're noticing that the product is not a very good value for how much it costs. What ends up happening when they do that, they're really hurting their own people, but at the same time, they're hurting us because now they're making their products seem cheaper, and we're buying basically really crappy products And in turn, what is the logical move we would need to make to fix that issue is putting on tariffs. But then again, anytime someone brings that up, they make it sound like a negative thing, where I don't think it's a negative thing. There's people that want global, more of like a global economy. And I agree that we should have a global economy, but not when it's going to hurt our American economy. We should really be focusing on helping North America get stronger, right? If we're going to do a lot of manufacturing, we should really bring a lot of it to Mexico, because then it's going to help us. It's going to actually help us up more than sending it all the way to China. But again, that's a whole nother topic. And there's a lot more details that I'm leaving out to this story. So, but yes, I believe overall the supply chain is going to drop and is going to cause items to get more expensive, yet most people are going to have less money.
Yeah, what we did in our construction company, we just started buying truckloads of material, so we were stocked up.
Smart.
The other thing we did is we did exactly what you're doing. I started a social media page to help contractors start their own business.
Mm-hmm.
So for $297, you get a course and you get a mastermind.
Okay. Now, starting their own business, so that means you would help them find work, or you wouldn't help them find work as well?
I just pretty much get them their business registered, get them posting on Facebook and on Kijiji and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk them through the basics of sales and closing the deal.
Okay.
The whole idea is within 90 days, you'll have 5 to 10 construction contracts signed. So you can quit your job and you can start your own contracting business.
Interesting. Okay. And in your country, do you have to have a license in Canada?
Yeah, you need, like, plumbers need licenses, electricians need licenses.
Okay.
Carpenters don't.
Oh, to open a carpentry business.
Carpentry, flooring, tiling, windows, all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
If you're a skilled trade.
Okay, yeah, and in America, a lot of those trades still have to get licenses. Like one of the hardest ones is windows and doors.
So if you're a skilled trade, you got to get a license to become...
To actively work and pull permits.
So if you want to replace a door in America, you got to get a license.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, if you do flooring, no. If you're going to do a laminate floor, you can do that. And in Florida, if you paint a building without a license, they will fine you $500 and they take people to jail. It's real. It's not a joke in Florida. You can't just do it. You have to get a license. You have to be licensed. You have to be insured. I have an accounting firm, so I open a lot of things you mentioned, like opening up a business's LLC, getting them EIN number. My company does that. So, but you also have to then get a license on top of that. So I don't provide the license. They have to go do that themselves and register their business.
Yeah. So we're just in the launch phase right now. We created the Instagram. We started running the ads. Signed up for Kajabi. Started developing on the course.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. So just kind of like, I guess maybe in Canada it's different. In America it's in America it's a little different, especially in Florida. Florida is very strict. Now to answer Johnny's question, it says you can't paint your own house. That does not apply to owner-occupied residence. If you're an owner-occupied residence, you can paint your own house. If you're an owner-occupied residence and you're going to change your windows, you have to go pull a permit for yourself. So remember that. Owner-occupied residence, if you change windows, you got to pull your own permit. You don't have to have a license. If you are working on someone else's house, you have to go pull a permit, but you have to be licensed to be able to be allowed to get that permit. Same thing.
Like we have to pull permits in Canada, but we don't have to be licensed to pull a permit.
Yeah, you have to be licensed to pull a permit.
As well.
Yeah.
How are you liking the social media and for your own brand and raising the investment capital?
Honestly, I didn't really try that for that reason. I have an app that I'm coming out with, and I was building up my social media platform so I could give more attention to my app. But no one's really going to listen to me if I'm talking about an app unless they know that I know what I'm talking about regarding all of the different things we're going to be offering on the app. So I started doing it for that reason. Now, from there, people started asking for a course. So because they were asking for one, I finally created one. And then from there, people were like saying, hey, I want to invest with you. My intention wasn't really to get investors, but I've gotten one investor so far. I've had a lot of people offering to invest with me. I basically told them to hold their money and wait because I think the market's going to tank. I don't think it's a good time for people to buy unless they're getting a steal. Unless they're buying something for like 20 or 30% under value, I don't think you should buy it. And, just be patient. And then there's going to be a lot of deals coming. And at that point in time, then I'll let everybody know, hey, there's deals out there. I'm going to be buying all these deals. Whoever's interested, let me know.
Good for you.
Yeah. So mostly like the Gary Vee style, give before asking anything. Like, I just came out with my course. So I was giving out free information for a year and I'm still giving out free information, right? It's just the amount of information that they need to get, I cannot supply on this type of platform. It takes a lot of time. It takes Kajabi or some type of different platform. So like it costs me so much money to put out the courses and to do all this stuff. I'm not even making money. I'm just basically recouping the cost from them to cover the cost for the platforms I'm putting everything on, for the cost of the video editing. Because if anyone ever looked into it, video editing is not cheap. No, it's like my biggest cost is video editing. So
you should get paid for your time and effort too, right?
I have the idea that if you give enough, you're going to get in return eventually. But when Gary Vee says you have to give away a lot for a long time, it's true. I gave away for like a year before even offering anything, and I'm not making money off of this platform, right? Like I'm just hoping that my goal is when the app comes out. That people will see they learned enough from me, so they start using the app. And it's going to be a platform where people can actually make money on there themselves working there, and people can also use the app to save money by buying their financial services from the app.
Wow. Yeah. You're going for the financial services, I guess. You're going for the financial services.
Yeah, because I already have an accounting firm. I have an insurance agency. I'm opening up a lending company that does residential 1 to 4 family rentals. I have my construction company. I have the property management. I do all this stuff. So if I can provide these services now on a social platform where people can buy it themselves there for a reduced price than somewhere else, and then instead of someone working for the bank or working for a financial institution, they work for themselves off of the app, then they both win because they're going to make more money by doing this. And then all we're doing is we're handling all of the legal aspect of the app. Or the app will handle the legal aspect of each financial service, because there's a lot of legality behind financial services in this country.
So you're creating a marketplace.
Basically, I'm creating a marketplace. Yeah. We're going to create like an Uber or a Airbnb of financial services.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have one of the people that we're working with, Apple Pay. They host Apple Pay's their platform hosts Apple Pay. Another guy that's going to be joining the team does security for the government. Does tech cybersecurity for the government. The other guy that's going to be joining the team has a doctorate degree in AI and works for Apple on their making sure that the apps work properly on their platform. So I'm building like a dream team right now to be able to bring this out. And even the app too. Like we're going to make almost no money off the app. We're going to make like pennies, but as long as the consumer saves money and the person working on the app makes money, then we have faith that the app's going to grow and it's going to change things. It's going to be, you know how they said back in the day, they said, they used to say, guns were the equalizer of people, that when everyone had a gun, everyone was equal, didn't matter how tall or how short you are. Well, I believe like this app will be the equalizer of people, and be able to give everyone the opportunity to work for themselves from home. And instead of for $40,000 a year, they're making $80,000 a year, or if they were making $100,000 a year, now they're working from home making $200,000 a year because now they're keeping all the money. And not only that, is we'll be able to, most people when they are basically self-employed, they don't have benefits or any of those options. So our platform is also going to offer full benefits. We'll be able to get them the benefits, the tax deductions, the write-offs, and all of the services that small businesses don't get, but big businesses do, and we'll be able to transfer those services back to the consumer, and not the consumer, but to the producer of the app.
That's a big idea to execute on.
I got big players on my team.
I hear that.
Yeah, so I have a big idea, but I have big players on my team, and they already know. And what I bring to the table is I've done all of those things, and I've done every job on the ground level, on the way up, and I've opened up my accounting firm from the ground level all the way up. I've done the lending at the ground level, and I'm opening up my own firm. I've done the insurance on the ground level, and I've now opened up my own accounting firm. I've been doing this for my whole life, right? I've been doing this for a very long time. So I have the idea of how it's going to benefit the consumer and the producer. So now we just need to execute on it. And we have a lot of, our goal is this, is just, we're not going to make any money. We're just going to keep on adding value to the people, and they're going to be able to make money, and it should spread. Again, and they all have connections. I mean, the players that I'm bringing onto the team are already in the industry. They have connections. They've already done it with other people, similar things, but not this. So I'm bringing them all as partners and giving them shares of the company. And we're going to, hopefully very soon, bringing something out, showing the world what we can do. And I mean, and really, I'm just touching the tip of everything we're going to be doing on this app. Like, it's a lot more than that too. So it's exciting times. Cool. Do you have any more questions for me today?
No. Congratulations on all the success.
Awesome. You too. I'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
All right, Jazz has a question. Will you consider a course on how you began opening your insurance firm, etc., not just real estate focused? I can. If you have any questions, feel free to go live right now, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have regarding that. And to be honest with you, that's part of the app. The app is actually going to be able to help someone that wants to start an insurance agency to do it without, hundreds of thousands of dollars and without connections. Because what you don't know is to open up an independent insurance agency, it is actually expensive. It's a lot of money. And normally, to be able to get the direct contracts without a middleman, you have to have a lot of connections. Like when I did it, I was known in the industry to be a really good producer and have quality locations. So because of that, I was able to get my contracts. But normally, you don't get contracts that easy. Consider a course compiled on how to develop all of your different businesses. In what order did you begin? I first started studying the real estate investment business. And when I started studying real estate investing, I then decided, okay, I want to make more money. What can I do? And I thought, well, maybe if I work for a bank, I should be able to do, I should learn a lot. And then I learned, no, most people at the bank don't know. But I was fortunate enough to find some people who did know, and I was able to pick their minds and use them as an investor. So, I would use them as a mentor. So then I would pick their mind and grow from there. So I learned lending at the bank. I learned how to be a lender. And from there, I grew that mindset. Then I learned credit from somewhere else. And then I learned tax return from another person. So to be able to compile all three, to continue to grow my business. All right. How would you invest $100,000? Hello? All right. So how would you invest $100? How would I invest $100,000? It really depends on what I was doing. What was I doing in my life? So if I had time and I had $100,000, I would buy a fourplex, buy a $500,000 fourplex, put down $100,000. I would or a $400,000 fourplex and put down $80,000. I would then remodel it, upgrade, paint, curb appeal, increase rents. After a year, you should have added value. You should have, if you're buying the right property, you would have added like $150,000 in value. At that point, you have this additional value. You do a cash out refinance. You get all of your money back out of the deal, and you can use that money to buy another fourplex. And then you keep repeating the process. If you don't have time, you can invest with somebody else that knows what they're doing and be part of their success and get into their deals. And you could just be a limited partner on their deal. Basically, they would do all the work. Imagine it being like a restaurant where you bring some money and then a chef will bring some money and the chef would do the work and you would just get a cut of the profit. The chef would make his cut from the money he brought. You would get a cut for the money you brought, and then the chef would get a cut from the time he spent working in the restaurant. So that's normally how a partnership works. Is it better to buy a fixer-upper than a remodeled place? Normally, it is better to buy a fixer-upper, but you have to be very careful because currently they're charging almost as much for a fixer-upper than a remodeled place. So that doesn't make any sense. And sometimes you do get a slight reduction on the fixer-upper, but by the time you calculate how much it costs to remodel the fixer-upper after the remodel costs more than the finished remodeled place. So be very conscious and be able to crunch your numbers because the numbers are going to determine what you should do. And sometimes the numbers are going to determine don't buy anything at all. Currently, I'm in that position where it's like, wow, there's like really no good deals in good areas, so it's not worth buying. How long have you been in insurance? I've been in insurance for 8 years. I'd say 7 years, 8 years. Did you go to college? I did go to college, but what I know now is not really what I learned from college. Like in college, I learned the name, the definition, like the technical name for the things I'm doing on the street. But to be good, you have to learn it on the street. So if you leave college with a 4-year degree and you come work for me, you're going to have to learn everything all over again because it doesn't matter if you know technical terms. If you can't do the job, it's not useful. Why do most of these CEOs drop out of school after 2 years being in college? Because they realize they're not learning anything of real value. Now, if you want to be a nurse, you got to go to school. If you want to be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, then you need to go to school. But if you're not going to be something that is technical, that needs a degree to actually practice, then it's not really worth it. Like if you want to be in marketing, I don't think it's valuable to go to school and get a degree for marketing. That's my opinion. What kind of insurance? So we sell home insurance, auto insurance, umbrellas, boat, motorcycle, car, commercial insurance, all that stuff. I want to be your friend. You're more than welcome to follow my page. Read the comments, like them. Leave your comments below. That's much appreciated. Again, I get some DMs from people saying, "Oh, I want to learn." Then I see they're not even following my account. You don't want to learn. If you're not following my account, you don't want to learn. There is no secret. Within 5 minutes, someone's going to tell you something and boom, you're a millionaire. It didn't work like that. It took years to build this. Now, overnight, everyone sees me and they're like, oh, wow, you got a nice car. You got a nice house. You got a nice watch. You are an overnight success. It took me 20 years to be an overnight success. 20 years I was hustling and just didn't live flashy until finally I'm like, you know what? I'm comfortable enough. I can have whatever I want. So If you're not following, you're not really trying to learn. If you're not reading all the posts, these posts are for you. They're not for me. So if you're not reading the posts, how are you going to learn? So remember, today, I'm still following every single business person on IG. Why? Because I want to learn from them. I want to constantly grow. If you think and you are the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. You need to be in rooms where people are smarter than you so you can keep on learning. All right, off of my rant. What about accountant? So I actually started doing accounting when I was 19. So I've been doing accounting for like 15 years. Yeah, I've been doing accounting for 15 years. Wow, awesome. Which state do you offer your insurance services in? Florida. Florida, we do all the insurance, accounting, payroll, taxes. We do it nationwide, and we do have some clients that are international that we do taxes for in the States as well. What's the best way to raise your credit score? Normally, it's actually to get more credit cards. That's usually some of the best way to get more credit. Get more credit cards. Just spend $20 on them and pay them off every single month. Because most people don't have enough credit lines saying good things about you, and that's why their credit isn't any good. So how credit works is this. Every credit card that you have, okay, every credit card that you have, every month you pay on time and you have a low limit, it's a check mark, okay? So in 1 month, if you have 3 credit cards, you got three good things that were said about you. Next month, another. Now you have 6 good things said about you. Well, if you don't have 3 credit cards, you only have 1. In 1 month, you only had 1 good thing said about you. In 2 months, you only had 2 good things said about you. So let's compare 2 people. Let's say this is you with only 1 credit card. In 2 months, you had 2 positive things on your credit score. 2 good things said about you. Now, the other option is here. This is you also. This is you with 3 credit cards that you're paying off every month, that you're never late on. And after 2 months, you have 6 positive things that are said about you. Who's going to have a better credit score? Someone that has 2 things, 2 good comments about them, or someone that has 6 good comments about them? That's the basics of your credit score. The more good comments on your credit, the better your score is going to be. And most people, their issue is that they don't have enough credit and they don't have enough good positive things being said about them. So credit is basically a way by a number to determine if that person is credible, if you can trust that person. We go into real deep detail in my course, Foundations of Personal Finance. And for anyone that doesn't know, the link for that course is in the bio. Ask anyone that's taken the course. It's amazing. It goes in deep detail of how the current economy works and all the foundational items that you need to know. This is all the things that I learned that got me to 23 units by the age of 23. Hola. So I appreciate all the positive feedback, guys. Yeah, I definitely appreciate all the love, all the likes, the hearts. You guys are great. Which credit card company do you recommend? It doesn't really matter. Honestly, it's whichever one gives you the best deal. I mean, the easiest one to get a credit card with is Capital One. Do you recommend a maintenance company when commercial or residential property is owned? Well, I do all my own. We have our own in-house maintenance for our property. We have our own in-house property manager. It really depends on your situation. Like when I started, I was making like $8 to $12 an hour. So I could afford to do my own maintenance. I could afford to do my own property management because I wasn't making that much money outside in the outside world. But if you're currently making $60,000 a year, and you're making $30 an hour, it might not be worth it for you to go mow the grass or to fix something. It might be worth it that you go work that Saturday and make some overtime as a nurse than you going out trying to fix something where it'd be cheaper if you just paid someone else to do it. So you just got to do that calculation. Which makes more sense for you? When will the banks start reporting foreclosures? The foreclosures should start reporting of May 2021. That's really when you're going to start seeing that. Biz or personal? We do business and personal insurance. We do business and personal accounting, bookkeeping, and payroll. Wow, 23 inch by the age of 23. Which unit did you start with? I started buying with duplexes. At minimum, you should buy a duplex. The best thing really for you to do is buy a fourplex. Now, if you have a lot of money, I would say skip that. Go all the way to a 30 unit if you can. But it depends on your situation. The bigger your units, the easier it gets. If you buy a condo, it is not easier. It's actually harder. So don't think just if I buy small, if I just get this condo, I'll start here. No, it's way harder. Trust me. Save yourself the headache. If you buy a fourplex, you're going to do a lot better. Now, the next thing you might say is, Pascal, there's no fourplexes available in my area. You're right, because they're so good, right? They're so rare to find. So you have to go on a hunt. You're not going to find it just like that, Which state did you buy your first unit? I bought that in Florida. Yes, I only have rental properties in Florida because they've basically been the best. Michael Mason says, what would you say is your strongest skill? Analysis. I'm very good at analysis. I can look through things, I can analyze the details, and I can come to a logical conclusion. And I don't have analysis paralysis where I'm overanalyzing and never come to an issue. You're going to see a lot of those problems with engineers, people that are super analytical. They have a problem with analyzing so much that they waste time analyzing. What's up, Sal? What questions do you have for us this week?
Good. I had a couple questions, or a few questions. I did some reading of all the different stuff in the economy. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's a little choppy, but go ahead.
Hold on real quick. You know what? I have a speaker connected to my light. It's kind of like an MP3. I think it's looping through that. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me cut that out.
Okay. Amen. Good point on analyzing. Thank you. Do you do a lot in order words? I don't know what that means. All right, Sal.
Yeah, so that.
Go ahead with your question.
Now there's none of that. So, all right. So I've been doing a good amount of research, and then the stuff that I come across, the financial stuff. But particularly my questions were about investing with companies that are currently going through bankruptcy filing.
Okay. That's normally a very bad idea, but go on.
Right. Normally it is. Well, I've done a good amount of research about a particular company. And so they're being restructured. Most companies, I'm sure you paid attention to how many companies, large and small, but particularly the larger ones, the JCPenney's going through a restructuring, a bunch of other ones. Anyhow, my first question was, when it's still possible to buy stocks even though they're currently going through bankruptcy, correct?
Yeah, but it's not a good idea because by the time your bankruptcy goes over, anyone who owns the stock gets paid last.
Right.
So,
right. But it's more, my interest is more certain companies are going to be restructured and where they're going to go.
Yeah, but again, if you're buying it prior to the bankruptcy closing, you're just adding yourself to the bottom of the list getting paid, which means
Correct.
they're probably going to run out of money before they pay the stock owners.
Right.
So normally the stock
Right.
goes to zero. And then after the
Right.
restructuring, there's something that happens and they might be able to come back and something to be, and then the company is, comes back under some type of change of name. But normally what happens, it goes to zero and someone else acquires it.
Correct.
And they acquire it and the old owners don't really get much.
But if you still have stock, well, all right. So what my interest is focused on, you continue with the restructuring or with that company that restructured afterward. So I guess if that's what my confusion is, or that's where my question.
So all those old owners go away. They disappear.
And so then after.
So they lost their money.
Correct. But then say come like the beginning of the year and that restructuring happened, it's starting to kind of make profit. If you still hold.
You don't. It's gone. Your stock is gone. It disappears.
Even though it's restructured.
Let's say Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese is owned by a parent company. Let's say Amazon buys Chuck E. Cheese. Okay? Chuck E. Cheese is going bankrupt. And you own shares in Chuck E. Cheese or in the parent company of Chuck E. Cheese. When Amazon buys it, you don't own anything anymore. What the court is going to say is, hey, Chuck E. Cheese, you owe all these debtors so much money. Amazon's going to come in and say, hey, I'll give you $1 billion. And the court's going to be like, I accept this. The $1 billion doesn't go to you. It goes to all the debtors that are before you. At the end, normally, nothing is left. So you get nothing.
Okay. But then after.
That's correct. The guy says you bet on the wrong side of the stock. That is correct. Yes.
No,
so
I understand all that.
Okay. But then after.
I understand all that.
Okay. Then after so let's just say you only own Chuck E. Cheese in your portfolio. Your portfolio went from $10,000 to $0.
Okay.
Done.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
However, if it is restructured, because certain companies do get restructured, like how you said, say Chuck E. Cheese is bought out by Amazon. If they restructure it and then call it, Chucky's Amazon.
No. That's different from a restructuring, right? Like when they get bought out, they just get bought out and that's done. They just pay off the debtors. The stockholders lost their money and they move on. But if you look at most of those companies, they almost never come out. They almost never come out of it. Like they're always stuck.
Right. No, I understand that. However, that's not 100%
the
case.
So let's move on to the next question because we're on two different worlds on this topic, and you're gonna keep going to how do I make it win, and I'm gonna go don't buy it. So let's go to another topic.
I'm not trying to how to make it win. I'm trying to understand if in that restructuring process, if I'm trying to understand that gray zone.
So this is the thing. It's 0.0001 billion% of the time that it works.
Okay.
And I don't look at I don't look at things that are 0.0 of a billion of a percent to work. Like it's extremely unlikely to work. So like, I don't do it because it's so unlikely to work. Could it work? Yeah, but we're not going to bet on the 1 billionth of a chance for it to work. We're going to focus on things that we can. That's why I like real estate. I know I could pick a piece of real estate, and when I'm buying it, I know if I do certain things to fix it, I can sell it for more money.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. So what's the other question?
The other questions relate to what you were speaking about earlier about the $7 trillion that were being injected.
Yeah.
Who is the individual you said?
What?
The individual that you said that
PhD? Richard Duncan.
Okay.
He's the same guy that predicted the '08 crash. He's a PhD economist.
Yeah, I was reading about they have like about $7 trillion in their portfolio.
Who?
And well, with what they were doing this past week, they actually made record profits, which didn't make sense.
Who are you talking about?
The way of it. Blackstone. It's an equity investment.
I know who Blackstone is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anyhow, they were making record profits, and it just didn't make sense with what's been going on. Especially
so Blackstone, one, you don't bet against Blackstone, right? Blackstone's CEO is like ridiculously good. So he knows his stuff. He's extremely good. And he explained that he even went on to say there's going to be part of the reason I'm saying we're going to have a significant bifurcation in our economy where the huge companies are going to do well and the small, medium-sized businesses are going to suffer. The guy knows his shit. So is he going to make money? Yeah, he's going to make money while everybody goes bankrupt. The guy is good, right? He's like Warren Buffett good.
Yeah, no, I figured that. My other question is regarding, you were speaking earlier about the different companies. You have an insurance company, you have your background. Do you have a company that ends up doing due diligence, accounting for acquisition of businesses or purchase businesses?
So M&A. So I don't have a company that specializes in M&A. Now, if a client comes to me and says, I'm looking to acquire this business or asset, do we do a financial review? Yes, we do offer that. But are we an accounting firm that specifically specializes in M&A? No.
Cool. All right. Yeah, those are my questions.
Awesome. Good seeing you, Sal.
You too. Take care. Thank you.
You too. Yeah, the link on YouTube, the video is a lot better. Definitely check it out, guys. Where's everybody at? There's only like 28 people on today. All right. Michael Mason says, I didn't know you owned a construction company. How do you manage that on top of everything else? So what I've done is, instead of trying to make things happen, when I find people that are good at what they do, I'll hire them. So I hired a guy to handle a lot of my construction. And then I hired another general contractor, and he has people that handles my construction. So between the different groups, I can get a lot done. So I have a lot of relationships with different people that are specialists in different areas. So doing construction is not hard if you have connections and you know that those connections are good at what they do. So to be a GC, if you already know all the players and they will do their job well, it won't be that hard. It's kind of like managing a company that has really great employees. It's not hard to do, but the hard part is finding those employees and keeping them. So that's how we do it. I need to rest? Probably do. Kind of tired. So B Enlightened says, I'm in the business credit section of the course. Any tips on acquiring business credit when it comes to applying? And did you have a business checking account linked to every EIN number? Yes, I have a business checking account linked to every EIN number. I also would get a new credit card linked to every business account. So I would have a separate credit card for each of my businesses as well. And it's normally not that hard to get the business credit. And in my course, it talks a lot about the tips about having business credit and how to maximize it. All right. Heard a prophecy. When they find a cure for coronavirus, another epidemic's going to hit. Will make corona look like child play. Great amount of people will die. How would real estate be affected, you think? One, even if the price of real estate falls, people still need to live somewhere. So they're still going to rent, right? That doesn't change. So that's why the business doesn't really get affected. Even in '08 when it crashed, most of my business wasn't affected. We were still bringing in money. Chris, you look tired. You need a rest. All right. Does China still have any stake in Blackstone, or have they all been sold as reported? I think they've been sold. Obviously, I don't know what's really going on in the background, but I think it's sold. All right. I'm a plug for work. If you'd like more, I have Hudson Homes as a client, billion-dollar client. So what am I looking like? Want more of what? Should I buy now? I think you should wait unless you're going to buy something for like 20, 30% off. What do you think of Ruskin, Florida area? I think Ruskin, Florida is fine, but just make sure wherever you're buying within that area, you're buying in a downtown part of the city you're buying in. So if you're going to buy in Ruskin, Florida, try to buy in the downtown area. That way you're always in the nice part of downtown. That way you're always going to be able to have tenants and people are always going to want to live there. Easy question. Birthday month, October. Yo, what's up, man? I'm not sure if you have a set loan officer you like to work with, but if not, I'd love to work together sometime. I work at Pacific Lending. So we're actually looking to hire loan officers in my firm. And we're looking to hire loan officers eventually nationwide. Right now, we're going to be looking in the Tampa Bay market and eventually scaling out nationwide. Maintenance work for your construction company. We manage homes across the country. Got it. I currently have my own crew that works in-house, but if that ever changes, I'll keep that in mind. Is it great to buy real estate in pandemic period? And which property, commercial or residential? I think that both markets are going to fall next year, May 2021. And I think that the commercial one's going to fall very hard. So I'd wait. What's your favorite animal? Rhino or bull. Cash App? Yeah, sure. Send me money. Yeah, sure. I'll try to add you. Shoulders are tight.
All right, so I have some questions.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to figure out ways to, like, I'm a rapper. I make music, and I'm becoming famous. Like, a lot of people are wanting to make music videos with me and stuff. And I was wondering, is you do, like, profits and stuff, like, is there any way you can make something happen to where, like you could make a studio in Lexington?
It's not really my business model.
Do you know anybody that could do that? Like, that does stuff like that?
Actually, I actually know somebody. I met him at the ClickFunnels event. So DM me and I will send you his IG.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So he actually is pretty successful. He sells, he makes beats and he sells the beats to rappers. Best type of account to hold money. I mean, the safest account to hold money is in a savings account because it's insured up to $250,000. I'd probably get like an Amex savings account because the Amex savings account pays like 1.4% now. So it pays pretty well. All right. I'm trying to help people out here. All right. So here we go. Jazz has a question. I want to hold on to 100K until May 2021. What type of account should I put it until the right deal? Personally, I had a question earlier about crypto. I would say, look, you can't guarantee what's going to happen with crypto. You can't guarantee what's going to happen with stocks. I think they're going to drop hard. I think they're going to drop real hard. I'm actually putting it in gold and in gold stocks because I think gold's going to do well with all this printing. Price of gold has to go up. Price of silver has to go up. So I'm putting my money in gold because I know that gold has to go up. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. So when, I don't know. But right now I'm buying more and more gold stocks and I'm just holding on and sitting back because I'm the type of guy that I want to make a move, make a couple of moves. And yeah, it takes a while for it to come to fruition. But when it does, the return I'm getting is significant. Where some other person might be making like 40, 50 moves, but in my 6, I'm making the same amount of money as in his 50. That's why you'll see me, I'm doing powerlifting and I'm doing Wing Chun Kung Fu and then I'm doing something else. And it's like, sometimes you might be like, does basketball even work? The thing is, yeah, I work, but I spend so much time doing analysis and I come to a conclusion and I bet on that thing hard. And then when I get that huge reward, again, I'll make my money on my 5 moves that someone else would make 50 moves to try to make the same money. And a lot of times, the guys out there making 50 moves end up losing money compared to my 5 moves make money. So it comes down to this thing that I learned. It says 80% of the work you do leads to 20% of your profit, and 20% of the work you do leads to 80% of your profit. So focus your energy on maximizing on that 20% and basically forget the 80. That's what I do. All right. So Daniel agrees with me. He's like, yes, gold. And then what book do you recommend about the 80% and the 20% work life? I don't know what book it's from, but I've read many articles about it. All right. Cronulla says, any predictions on the Austin market next year? As many employers are moving there, any chance there will be no downturn? Can there be no downturn in a microeconomy? Yes, there could be no downturn. So just be prepared. Do I think there'll be some downturn? There's going to be some, but just make sure you move quickly because when someone specifically is having an issue, you need to jump in and buy. The benefit you're going to have, that I'm going to have, is that we're not as large as these funds that are raising like hundreds of billions of dollars. They have so much level of bureaucracy. We can move quickly. So that's why I said, study my course. Get ready, because when it's time for you to make a move, you'll be able to make a move quickly. Will you mentor me? My page is about mentoring. Everything I put up is for people to study, read the caption, and leave your comments. If you have any question, leave it in the comments. I'll answer it. And this is how I can be able to teach many people at one time, and then someone else will be able to read your comment that you post and read my response so everyone can learn. That's kind of the point of my IG and my YouTube. All right. I'm trying to get people to help me show off my talents. Can I rap for your live? You seem nice. I would love to, buddy, but the class is about investing. So I'm trying to help people with their investments and those type of questions. Anger Therapist is an awesome read. Angry Therapist. What's Angry Therapist about? And I appreciate your help on the questions, really. You're welcome. How much is your course? My course is $997. $997. I really like what you do. Thank you. Thank you. For real, this is America's Got Talent. Listen, if you got financial talent, more than welcoming anyone that has financial talent. Listen, guys, the courses are more cost effective than college. Yeah. So I got some guys that volunteer with me. Basically, they work for me for free. And they've been working with me all summer. We filmed one, because my course has multiple classes. We filmed one class, right? One class was about an hour, 45, maybe 2 hours long. Yeah, 90 minutes to 120 minutes. And I asked them, I said, what do you think of this section that we just filmed? And the class we just filmed. And they're like saying basically that they learned more in that one class that I filmed than they did the 2 years they've been in college. So you're going to learn about real practical information that you're going to use in your life for the rest of your life. Because when you learn about credit, that never ends. This isn't geometry. This is credit. Credit affects your whole life. It affects the cost of your health insurance, your auto insurance, your life insurance. You didn't know that, did you? Credit has a huge impact on your life in many, many ways that you don't even know. So, need a license? No, not to be an investor. All right. Michelle Mason says, worth every cent. Thank you. And there's still a lot more of the course I'm putting out. I'm still got more and more videos that we're working on to produce and put out. So more good stuff to come, guys. Just started a maintenance management company. I still work for a large maintenance property management company. I would like to get a home built next year. Am I dreaming in credit rehab now? I wouldn't. Next year, I think is going to be a good buying opportunity to buy homes that are already built, not to get something built new. Because it's going to be very expensive to build something new, but I think you would have a great opportunity to buy something that's already built and get a good deal on it. I would really love to invest right now, but I don't know where to turn. Right now, I'm not really buying anything unless I can get it for 20 or 30% off. I am putting some money in gold, so because I have a feeling that gold's going to go up. Besides knowledge, what is that you need to be successful? You need to have grit, right? There's a book called Grit. Look into it. You have to have grit. Investing is like fighting, right? You're getting punched in the face a lot, and you have to be able to just take a hit and just keep moving and literally not let it affect you. And the better you are at taking hits and keep moving, the better you're going to be. What you thoughts on employer retirement plans? I think they suck. I think you should be putting your money to the side and investing in real estate. When does your next course begin? It's currently available now. Link to my course is in the bio. What was your major in college? So I got a finance degree, minor in mathematics. I got a second degree in accounting, minor in economics and international business. I basically took every single business class that they had available in college. I was one semester away from getting a bachelor's in international business, and I was one semester away of getting a bachelor's degree in economics. I would have had 4 bachelors, like 4 separate bachelors, not 4 majors. I took like over 200 credit hours in classes just because I wanted to absorb every single thing possible. Honestly, it wasn't the best use of my time. The return on the time was not great. Not even the money, right? Let's ignore return on investment, cost of the class. Return on time, right? Like you cannot get back time. I don't think it was worth it. Tell me what 2 plus 2 is, please. I can't figure that out. 2 plus 2? I don't know. Man, love your content. Would love to get you on my podcast. Send me a DM. Why is that next year will be a good time to buy a home? So, around March/April of 2020, the coronavirus started happening. And they gave 12 months for people to not have to pay rent and not have to pay the mortgage. And at the end of the 12 months, they have to pay all the money. That's going to end May of 2021. May of 2021, people have to come up with that money. And if they don't, they're going to get foreclosed on, evicted, and in that case, that they get a loan modification. They have to show that they have a job that can pay it, the loan. And they need to make at least enough money to cover the cost of the loan. And if they don't, they won't get the loan modification. So not everyone's going to get evicted, but a large amount of people will get evicted and foreclosed upon. And when that happens, there's going to be a lot of supply on the market. Now, is there going to be a lot of people that want to buy real estate? Yes. Will a lot of those people qualify and be able to get the loans? No. Right now, the credit bureaus readjusted credit scores, lowering the average American credit score by 30 points. On top of that, many credit card companies are cutting credit lines in half. So now your utilization rate skyrockets, which then causes another factor to reduce your credit scores again. So many factors are reducing your income, one of the reasons that qualify you for a loan, reducing your credit, another reason that qualifies you for a loan, or inconsistency in your income, which will show up on your your tax returns. Another reason that would qualify for your loans. So many people are not going to be able to qualify for the loan, even though they want to buy the property. They might even have the cash, but because of those other factors, they won't be able to get a loan. Taking my course, Foundations of Personal Finance, they're going to teach you all the factors that they look into. And you need to study this stuff now, so when it happens in a year, you're ready. Because some of the things that are wrong with your history, some of the things that are holding you back from getting a loan, take a year, 2 years, 3 years to fix. So if you don't study today, you're not going to be ready. By the time you get everything fixed up, you're going to end up missing the opportunity to get such great deals. So you have to start now. And that's the thing. In being a successful investor, it's like dieting and exercising. People are like, well, if I diet now, I want results today. Well, no, it doesn't work like that. Like normally it takes 90 days for your vitamins to take effect in your body. 90 days. So if you bought a 30-day supply of pills and you're like, I didn't feel anything, and you stop taking them, of course you wasted your money because it takes 90 days. So when I buy my pills, I buy a 4-month supply because I know it isn't until 90 days am I going to really have an effect in my body from these vitamins. So then the 4th month, I should start really seeing an effect in my energy, my happiness, my mood, my endurance. So, and at that time, I buy another 4-month supply. The point is, investing is very much like that. That now you need to put in the energy of studying and working and putting in all of that passion and energy, and then also have the grit to stick it through for you to get the results. So That's why most people don't see the results from investing, is because or dieting, is because it takes consistency and it takes that stick-to-itness to keep you to get to the good stuff. So a lot of people say, because I'm a power lifter, right? They're like, oh, you are born strong, or you have a gift or whatever. I'm like, well, look at my parents. My parents are tiny. Like, for me to be a power lifter, I didn't have genetics, right? I just put in the consistency and was persistent to say, I'm going to keep doing this because I really like it. And eventually I was able to win states. I went to nationals. I was 10th in the nation, not because genetics, it was because I kept pushing. So another thing is this: most people that have the genetics and are lucky, those lucky people, they never even use the gifts that were given. So they're not even a competition. So Johnny says, I have an accounting degree, but I never used it because I was making more money already. That happens. I was in the process of buying a 2-family. Then this whole thing with COVID started and everything came to a halt. Yeah. Might be for the best, because you're probably going to get a better deal next year. Daniel says, how to get better credit, or which card will help my business credit? I like using US Bank for business credit cards. They're very good at that. They're very good at they offer very good cards. Hey, DJ's asking to go live. How do I accumulate money to buy my 23 units? Hey, what's up, DJ? How are you?
Good. I just want to say you're telling the truth about everything. I deal with a lot of politicians, and I also deal with a lot of business people.
Okay.
Because I do a small business union.
Mm-hmm.
And all the top players are saying, look, have at least 6 months of your savings. Buy gold. Be prepared. Have everything organized. And it's going to take you 3 to 5 years just to get your taxes right to get into a great investment. I'm like, just like what you say. Exactly.
I mean, you could do it. You could do it in 2 years, right? You could do it in 2 years, but most people don't know what they're doing, so it takes longer.
Yeah, that's why my buddy who bought the course, he literally has advanced himself and saves him so much time and effort. That's why we want to thank you for that, because he's just been so excited for it. And I'm like, see, exactly what anybody could teach you. And he's like, no, I want to go to another course. And I'm like, no. Take this course. This is one.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you, and we'll keep following you. And like I said to anybody on live, telling you gotta follow this guy. This guy's really good. No one else can get close to him.
Thank you, DJ. DJ's been following me since I had like 3,000 followers. He's been like one of my day ones.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
And I'm considering going to Florida just to, I am going to rent a room at the place that you have.
The cottages?
Yeah.
You're going to like it. You're going to like it. You're going to like it a lot.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. So thank you for updating everyone. And still, can't even finish the course, my buddy says. He's only at the 3rd chapter. And he's just going back to it, writing all the questions and everything. So he should be coming up next week. He has all these questions.
Awesome. I like it.
Take care.
You too. God bless, DJ. Yes, I save this video on IG and I save it on YouTube. On YouTube, though, the quality and the video is not flipped, so you can actually see what I'm writing better. Yes, I do make YouTube videos as well. I'm based out of Tampa, Florida, or Clearwater, Florida. Are you rich? I am comfortable. How did you accumulate money to invest 23 units? So I had my first job at 8 years old. Started saving money, started flipping Pokemon cards, video games, coins. Then I got a job at the bank when I was like 18, 19. I saved every penny I made. I used to also tutor math, save that money. And I just accumulated all the money, saved about a little over $32,000 by the time I was 19. And I bought my first duplex with that money. And then just kept rolling it. Would it make sense to buy gold or gold stock than a CD until next summer? Personally, I would buy gold stock. Like, even though nothing is guaranteed, right? The safest thing is to buy a CD. I'm very confident the price of gold is going to go up. Even people that don't invest in gold are saying gold should hit 3,000, and gold right now is like 1,800. So I'm very confident gold's going to go up. All right. All right. Let's see. What's the $7 trillion in the back? So the government would need to spend at least another $7 trillion to make up for the lost spending in the economy. So they'll need to print and spend that money or hand that money out and have the citizens and companies spend that money. If they don't, we're probably going to go into a depression. With SBA EIR loans, if dollar loses value in 5 years, how will they make us repay? Do you think we will lose money by paying off with Amero, new currency, eventually? I hear you on the Amero. I don't know how that's going to affect things. I don't think the Amero is going to go through. They were talking about putting out the Amero like 12 years ago. I don't really foresee that happening, at least anytime soon. Can you talk about the author you wrote on the board? I missed it. So this guy, Richard Duncan is a PhD economist, and he predicted the 2008 crash. He also said that we need to spend another $7 trillion to make sure we don't go into a Great Depression. The guy's been very accurate about many things, and he said that our economy is no longer a capitalistic economy. It's a creditistic economy. So that means every year, historically speaking now, every year that we did not grow our credit by 2% a year, we went into a recession. So we need to print money to make up for the shortfall of spending in our economy. What is the price of one stock of gold now? I think it's like under $30, because this is the company that I buy is GLD, and this company is is it GO? I think it's GOLD. There's two of them. One is GLD and one's GOLD. One of them is actually a mining company, so you make money off of the business, and the other one is is literally just you're buying in the actual gold, right? You're buying in the gold. So I buy a little bit of both, just to mix up a little bit. What is the thoughts on gold coin shortage and cryptocurrency? Well, the coin shortage is because of the fact that the mint has been closed. So, and people are hoarding coins. I'm like, whatever, it's not a big deal. I mean, we should have stopped using coins a long time ago. It costs us more money to print them than they're actually worth. At least a penny. We should have dropped a penny. Yeah. What is the smallest range of money you know to be needed to get into a serious investment for a novice? Say you bought a $200,000 property, you would need roughly, let's say, $10,000. Are you anticipating a stock market crash past the election? Yes, I am. It doesn't matter who gets elected either. Any mentors good to follow for a teenager interested in this topic? Yeah, me. You'll learn most everything you need to know. All right, guys. It's late. I've been on for about an hour and a half, and it's 11:30. So I hope all of you guys have a blessed night. I'm going to go live again Wednesday at 10 p.m. Feel free to join. If you guys want to learn more, my course, Foundations of Personal Finance, link is in the bio on my IG page. It's great seeing everybody again. I hope you all have a blessed day.